Hello, wrestling fans, VHS fans, and welcome to NDT CoLlEcTs WrAsSLiN Plus VHS.
The following segment has been brought to you by NDT CoLlEcTs WrAsSLiN Plus VHS.
Wrestling fans, VHS fans, I've got another box. I've got some VHSs to go through. Let's check it out. I won this off of, excuse me. I won this off of Facebook Marketplace. There was a guy on there that was selling some of his horror videos, VHS style format, and I just had to grab them up. So let's get right into this horror box and see what we got. First off, we got a bunch of papers that he's thrown in there so it wouldn't be rocking everywhere, wanting out through the mail, so it'd be pretty well packaged. Great. Let's see. First, we got up off the top of the hour here. We have Slaughterhouse on VHS, and it is Charter Entertainment, Slaughterhouse. Not the awesome original box art, but it'll do. Next up, we have The Evil Dead. Bruce. Good old Evil Dead. Next up, we got, I'm going to go through here. What that is. Next up, we have Gothic. We have Gothic. Next up, we have from Avid Entertainment. Not the one I really wanted, but it's here. The Brain. Not the original artwork. It was Avid Home Entertainment, but it's pretty cool. The Brain. Next up, we have May She Rest in Pieces. I Disassemble Mama. Disassemble member. December member Mama. I Disassember Mama. Can't pronounce it correctly. Next up, we have, what do we got here? We got a media release, which I love. Media release with Linda Blair. And it is, I believe, no, can't even get it open. It's a media release from the bottom. It is Hell Night. Media release. I don't really want to damage the box here, so it is a pull out from the bottom. If I can just get it open correctly without damaging it. Hell Night. Yes. Nice. It is Hell Night with Linda Blair. Hell Night. Media release. Awesome. Next up, we have the original I Spit on Your Grave. The original. Next up, we have American Gothic. Next up, we have the original. Awesome movie here. Robert Z'Dar in Maniac Cop. Maniac Cop. Next up we have Robert Z'Dar. Another film. It is Maniac Cop 2 is a new release during this time period and frame. Maniac Cop 2. Maniac Cop Part 2. Next up we have, supposedly this is the last VHS ever made during the time frame. It was the last VHS in the line of that format, of the VHS format. Supposedly this was the last film ever produced and put out on VHS format. It is the History of Violence. History of Violence. Next up we have Robert Z'Dar in another film here. And that is Maniac Cop 3. Maniac Cop 3. Next up we have another Bruce Campbell film. And he is Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2. It's funny about this Evil Dead. I had part 1 there just a while ago. Got part 1 on VHS. You seen it just a second ago. Anyway, that movie Evil Dead Part 1 was filmed in a little town called Morristown, Tennessee. And it's not too far from where I live here. Just few down the road miles. I actually have, I'm weirdo, I actually have the dirt and some pictures here. I don't know if you see it or not. Pictures of the cabin hole where the chimney was at, where they, it was the scene where the underground, I get your soul, underground part there, where there's the chimney still left, planks, just a little bit of the chimney. The only thing that's left is the chimney, and I don't even know, I ain't been there in years, so I don't even know if the chimney still stands or not, but that's the chimney, and that's the hole where the cabin was at, and that's the basement scene where they filmed that part. And I actually have the dirt, the ash part, some up from the chimney. Anyway, back to the movies here. We have The Curse with John Snyder's in it. John Snyder in The Curse. The Curse. Next up, we have excuse me. We have an old film here, and it's seen better case of seen better days, I guess. We have Creepers. 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 We have Creepers. Next up, we have, what do we got here? We have Psycho Cop. Psycho Cop. Psycho Cop, and it is busted. No. It's got a little bust right there. I'll have to fix that. No problem. The flap is busted. Ain't that just great? It is Psycho Cop. I'll put that to the side and fix that later. Next up we have The Pit. The Pit. Now if I just get it out of the box. The Pit. The Pit. Next up we have, what do we got? We have The Offerings. The Offerings. The offerings. And that also has a little problem with the flap there. To fix that. Oh, these have got little damaged flaps. We'll have to rework on them. The offerings. Put that to the side. Next up we have Evil Dead Part 3, which is Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness. Next up we have Curse Part 2, The Bite. Curse Part 2, The Bite. Pretty cool films. Let's see next up what we got. Oh, we have Curse Part 3. Curse Part 3. Blood Sacrifice. Curse Part 3. Next up, what do we got here? Curse Part 4. The Curse Part 4. Part 4 of the Curse. Cool. Next up, what we got going on? We have Psycho Cop Part 2. Psycho Cop Part 2. Next up, we have an awesome little film called The Pumpkinhead. The Pumpkinhead. The Pumpkinhead. That's a pretty cool film too. Good old Pumpkinhead. And that was last but not least. That Pumpkinhead was. That's all she wrote. Got a little box here. Let's see. Do have one of these little slips he put in there. We'll just keep that. That'll be the rest of it. That'll be all. That ends this segment, folks. We'll catch you on the next segment from NDT CoLlEcTs WrAsSLiN Plus VHS.
This segment was brought to you by NDT CoLlEcTs WrAsSLiN Plus VHS.